Hey everyone, it's Book Fair with Opinion here. The first video went so well, I felt like it just hit up the charts and I really enjoyed it and everything like that, so I wanted to do my next video pretty quickly here. So here I am back again. So I'm going to do actually something that is very common during in BookTube. If you've watched BookTube for a long time, for any amount of time that you know that this is a big thing on it. If you haven't, then this will be completely new to you. Which is that a lot of people have monthly TBRs, which are to be reads videos. They talk about what they're going to be reading during that month or that week or whatever else. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I have five books that I am reading for this month that I haven't really got to yet because I've just been busy and a lot of things going on. And so I'm going to start it now. I'm going to start in the middle of the month. And so it's going to be fun. So the first book, so if you've follow me on Bookstagram or Twitter or my Facebook page, then you might know what I'm going to be talking about today. But if you don't, here it is. So as you can see, there's like 5 books on here. 4 of them are YA, and then 1 of them is adult. All of them are actually related to buddy reads that I'm doing right now, or doing soon. That if you don't know what buddy reads are, they're kind of like smaller book clubs, I guess, on a website called Goodreads, which is kind of like a social media type platform just for books. So it's kind of like Facebook, but for books. It's better than Facebook, honestly. So I'm going to do 4 of them as buddy reads and 1 of them as a book of the month, which is kind of a bigger sense of a book club. So buddy reads is like 2 to 3 people, and then a book of the month is like for the whole group. So it can be up to like 20, 30, 40 people, commenting on it. And it comes out on an online discussion board. So all of them doing buddy reads for or book of the month for. So, yep. Let's start off with the first one, which is Anna K, the love story. I'm not sure exactly how much about this book. There's not much I know about it. I just know that the story ain't over. Jenny on The Story Ain't Over loves this book, loves this duology. She kind of said that it was a mix of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy and like Gossip Girl, I guess. That's kind of the vibe she got. So that really got me interested in it. I will put summaries in here in a little bit. Second book is, and right here is Sisters of Shadow and Light, which is already interesting to me. Basically, it's about 2 sisters who they grow up in a citadel. That's how you say it. And they end up on the day that one of the sisters one of them is born. They end up kind of having a hedge growing around the citadel so they can't leave. So for years, they can't leave the citadel. It's just them 2 and their father. And until one day, there's a stranger that comes through the hedge and things change. The one sister has kind of a power that is, has a power that basically she can make plants grow. And so that's like a big part of, that might be the reason why there's a hedge growing, possibly. I'm not sure. It looks very interesting. Seems really interesting to me, honestly. It apparently in the summary also that there used to be magical beings that lived in the Citadel, but then now they're living there, and so it's all kind of it's very different. Um, it seems very much like a combination of Strange the Dreamer, which have you ever heard of? Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor is a really good book. It's about godlike creatures. Well, actually, God, God's children, um, having they're kind of a combination of two stories. One is a human who has always dreamed about this place that he's never been to. He finally gets a chance. Um, it's kind of this place that like nobody ever really is kind of believes it's true, kind of doesn't believe it's true, combination of both, um, and everybody calls it Weep, even though it's not really its real name, and all these different things. And then the other main character is a Godspawn, which is like a child of a god. And after some awful stuff happens, after a war that happens, now the Godspawn have to live in a citadel. So I think it's kind of the combination of that, plus magical beings and all that kind of stuff. But people think that it's related to that. One person said that it's not really related to that. It also gives me the vibe of like Rapunzel in the way of like somebody, after a long time, like nobody knowing this person lives in this place. Now all of a sudden there's this person that comes and finds it. So have a combination of both, I think. Um, it sounds really good. I'm really excited about it. It's the only fantasy on the list, so it's good. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's as good as I think it is going to be. Um, Third is American Royals, which I think is a combination. I feel like it's kind of a complicated description. I don't understand the description, but if anybody has a better description down below, you could comment down below because I would love to know kind of what you guys think about this book. I don't really know about this book, but it's American Royals by Catherine McGee, and it's like a combination of both Tokyo Ever After, which is kind of off of Princess Diaries, if you ever heard of that, or What a Girl Wants, and Tokyo Ever After basically is the story of this girl who finds out that the father that she thought was kind of just like a one night stand randomly by her mother she ends up finding out that he's actually a prince in Japan, and so she ends up going to live there, and a lot of different things that happen, and she's got to figure this world life and all this kind of stuff. And it's a little bit for a long time. For a period of time, I was going to DNF it. I was gonna, put it as did not finish, and then just leave it be. But then I ended up pushing through, and I'm glad I did. There was a huge plot twist, and I was just really surprised, and it made it a lot better. I felt like made it a little different than what I thought it was gonna be. So, a good book, definitely. Other book that I would recommend that I think it kind of relates to is The Selection, and I give really big vibes of this. So basically, in American Royals, it's what it seems like is it's like America if it was like a monarchy. So like after the Revolutionary War, George Washington ends up becoming the king of the country, and so then it's like Washington's children kind of goes down the line, and it seems like there's like three siblings, and one of them is like perfect royalty. The other one is kind of like trying to get out of the spotlight, and the other one is having romantic issues or something like that. It's kind of confusing, But in the selection series, I'm gonna do a 3-part video playlist kind of thing for selection series eventually, because I love the selection series and I think a lot of thoughts about it, and I need to talk about it like just completely, just about those books. But that'll be a later thing. So right now, I'm going to talk about the selection in the form of this book. So the selection kind of has the same thing. So, but in the selection, it's not that it's America that has the monarchy. It's like a futuristic America that originally was America, but now is called something else, and it's a monarchy. So it kind of has the same kind of vibe, I feel like. The next one is The Way You Make Me Feel, which is actually the first book that I'm actually going to read for this month. And I actually started it already, and I'm really excited about it. It gives really cute vibes and everything like that. It's basically about a girl who, she really only lives with her father. She has, some relationship with her mother, but her mother is kind of rebel, kind of, goes off in her own way and everything. So she doesn't really see her mother very much. But she has a really good relationship with her father, and her father owns a food truck called Cobra, and both her parents are Brazilian Brazilian, and so she's Brazilian Korean American, and she's kind of rebel in school. She plays a lot of pranks and stuff like that, and after one prank goes wrong, she ends up a prank goes wrong, and then she ends up in a fight with this girl who she doesn't really like very much, and they both get in trouble, and their punishment is to work at the Cobra, to work at the food truck that her father owns for the summer, instead of doing other things. And they both don't like it. They both don't want to be there, but they have to. And they meet some people. They're starting to become friends in the part that I'm in. I'm about 16 chapters in. I'm about, I think, halfway through about. And, they started becoming friends. There's a little bit of romance, maybe, other things. And I think it just seems to be really good. And I'm really excited to get to further. Hopefully I'm going to be done with it soon. I think I'm going to be done with it soon. So we'll see. And last but not least is the only adult book on my list. It's called Head Over Heels. It's kind of a romantic comedy. It's about a woman who is... Hey, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but Head Over Heels looks a really excellent book. So basically, so I've heard so far is that it's about a woman who ends up, she has a dream of basically going to the Olympics, the U.S. Olympics, and then she ends up having these issues. I don't know exactly what. Having these issues because of just different reasons, and then but she ends up not going to the Olympics. But her best friend kind of betrays her and ends up going to the Olympics with her coach, who is kind of emotionally abusive or something like that. And so then she's kind of figured out what she's going to do and everything like that. So then she ends up going to, I think it's Massachusetts, and going there, and ends up helping a person who is wanting to do gymnastics too, so she ends up teaching them and everything like that. and there's kind of a love interest and stuff like that. It seemed really good. I don't really care about the romantic part about it. It's more that I really am interested about the gymnastics. I love gymnastics and dancing in movies, and I'm really excited to see kind of what's going to happen with that and how it's going to end up being and everything like that. Oh, I'm so excited to read that. One thing I want to say about The Way You Make Me Feel again, I really enjoy friendships in a book, even more than romances. Um, there is a romance feel in The Way You Make Me Feel, but it's like, I feel like the friendship is even more important to me because I just love friendships in books. It's just like the platonic, love that you have for somebody, the kind of found family vibe and all that kind of stuff. I love that. I enjoy that so much. And so I think that's kind of what I look for in a book a lot more than romance. The problem is it's a lot harder to find really, really good friendship books without it being kind of sad or something like that. It's some sort of tragedy happening or something like that. But hopefully it's still good. So basically, that's my 5 books for September TBR. And I'm really excited for all of them. I'm really excited to read the rest of this book, and then The Way You Make Me Feel book, and then kind of going further into the other books. I'm really excited to talk to you guys all about in a couple weeks about the books to see kind of how I feel about it and everything like that. So, I will let you know that if I haven't told you before, that I'm foregoing the videos that I mentioned in the first video until later on. So I have kind of a schedule right now. I'm going to do this video, and then I have another video coming up that's going to be coming up also today. And then I have next week, I'm going to talk about something else, and then I'm going to do a wrap up in 2 weeks, and then kind of an October TBR, and then some other things. So I have some plans going on, some plans for what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do the creative things yet. I'm going to do them later. So just letting you guys all know. So one thing I want to talk about that I'm going to talk about kind of to introduce my next video, which is that September 15th to October 15th, if you did not know, is Latinx Heritage Month. And so I want to kind of do a video kind of celebrating that. But it's going to be a little bit different because sadly I didn't have enough time to pick a bunch of books to talk about. So I'm only going to do one book, and I'm going to do like kind of a thorough review of it and to talk about it and kind of my thoughts on it and everything like that. I actually have this whole, the book is basically, I actually did it for a buddy read. I did it for like a review earlier, and had a lot of notes in it, crazy amount of notes. And so I'm really excited to talk about it and see if I think the same things and all that kind of stuff. So that will be in the next video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and keep on reading.